thanks for tuning in. Last time you were here, this bay was empty. Now, there's a car in it. Let's find out its story. But first, I want to congratulate Dan on getting 10,000 followers on TikTok. If you guys don't follow his TikTok or any of his other social medias, click the links down below. Hey Dan, run that intro!
All right, here's the 72 Malibu we're bringing home. It's loaded, it has an engine. I might actually try to get this thing running. I got to get it uphill more. See the 68 back there, 67 up there. Getting it down the hill pretty good, but it's angled and wet and muddy, so it's sliding down. And we got a 71 in the way that is also missing a spindle and perpendicular to the other driveway, so I can't really get that out. So trying to get it down this way. We're gonna air up the tires and see where we get to. Oh yeah, it's pouring rain too. So she was dragging good for a little bit there, and then as it started getting uphill a little bit when I pulled over with the winch, but then it started sliding downhill, and you'd see how far over she's going, heading that way a bunch. So what I decided to do is, she was pulling the trailer over with the winch, so I decided to go one-on-one with the truck. That way I'll pull it out and down to the road, hopefully not hitting the 71. And once I get her down into the road there, I'll disconnect the truck. I got the trailer there, we'll back it up and hopefully be able to load it down there where it's nice and even. The front wheels do roll. They were flat, so I put on some rallies that I bought. Made a new friend buying those. So those will roll. Steering wheel's locked a little bit to the right. And of course the back is stuck in park. I wasn't able to do anything with that. But if I can get it straight, it might drag on. We might be okay. So let's see how it works with the chain. Next video should be down there because I'm by myself. So let's see. Little halftime break. Not even a minute later. I mean, she dragging, but we made it past the 71. We got some cool racing stripes. You can see as soon as I hooked it up to the truck, that's what was happening with the trailer. It was just sliding over, but I hooked it up to the truck. She made a nice curve around, and now we're heading downhill. So I think she's gonna go down there and follow me, and we'll be okay. Let's see how it works. So before I bring the cars inside, I like to power wash them, clean them up. I got a couple more rims in here, so let's get those out first. Let those rims in there. Unlock it. It's locked. There we go. Oh, that saves a little. Pull that tire up a little. Lifty, lifty. Got more rally wheels. Alright, it's my favorite thing to do. She looks better already. Gotta give the trailer a tap too. Figure I'll show you a little bit. You can see the lighter blue here and the darker blue. As soon as I hit it with the water, it looks better. So it's like clear coat in a can. So I power washed all I'm going to clean at this time, but I need to get it in the garage. But the steering wheel is locked up, and so is the transmission. So I need to put a new key switch in it, so let's get to it. First step is to pull the steering wheel off. I already took the nut off and the horn button, which didn't work anyway. So this is old and dirty, but it's basically just 2 bolts go into the steering wheel, tighten the center, it'll release the steering wheel. So let me get that done. Start these by hand. They do need to be tightened up, so these bow really easy too, so these, of course, from years of use, are pretty cockeyed, but you definitely want to get some good threads in there before you start cranking on it. Get an extension. There we go. Make sure you get some good threads in there. Make sure they're even also. Then, go ahead and hang down on the center. Tighten that, just pull back. Oop. Make sure this guy stays on. What this does is puts even pressure on the wheel instead of trying to pull it from the outside and jerking it off. This should hopefully, after 40 years, release it from its home. And once you do that, it pretty much come right off. Now this plate has 3 Phillips head screws and the horn button, so the horn wire. Trying to know which screws go here. These are the really, really tiny screws. You're trying to know which ones go here. It's a really, really tiny Phillips head screw. Come on. Now this guy, you need to have one of these special tools. This has to compress, and then there's an O-ring, snap ring you got to get out. So this will actually thread onto where the steering wheel threaded onto. Again, you want to get it on a couple of good turns. And then this, you're going to tighten it with this wing nut. And this will just compress this down. Doesn't have to go far. You can see the snap ring is right here. Washer there. So we'll get the big tool out and get that off. So if you get pliers in here, you got snap ring pliers. You get in there, get underneath it like that. Then you just get behind it with a screwdriver, flathead, and just pry it up and out. Some way, get it up and out. So if you get pliers in here, you got snap ring pliers. You get in there, get underneath it like that. Then you just get behind it with a screwdriver, flathead, and just pry it up and out. Some way, get it up and out. Alright, now this is probably hard to see, but we finally got this plate off. And that's where those 3 little screws go, so I'm actually going to put them back in here because I don't like to lose things, especially little things like little screws, so I'll put them back where they belong. That way when I put it all back together, I'll remember how it goes. But I lost one. There it is. Alright, then the horn button will just pop right off. And then you have your spring. And then you have your turn signal lever. You got to take this off. And then you have to take 3 screws off of the turn signal operation canceling cam. See, this was loose anyway. This is what I just fixed on my 66. And again, we're going to pull this off, and we're going to put the screw right back in here so we don't lose it. We don't forget where it goes. Alright, so I wanted to bring you in here to show you. So the screws you're going to take out is up here, so you just push it down, and you see there's a screw up here, and then when you push it up, there's a screw down here. So we'll take those out, and there's a 3rd screw here. On the back side of this, you have a Phillips head screw you need to take out for your hazard switch. once that's off, this whole thing will slide out. Now, how far it's going to come out is going to be determined by the wires that are attached to it that go down your steering column. So you may have to release those to get it out far enough so you can see what you're doing. There we go. So this may be a little harder to get out. You try feeding the wires underneath. But all you need to do is pull it out enough to get one side of it past that. And then we're going to be looking up here. Alright, so let me show you what I did. So you basically have to stick a screwdriver in this slot here, which is where those tabs were from that square piece here. Stick them in here and you have to hammer this in here really hard, and what you're doing is this is in there and you're depressing this switch so it'll pull out. If you have a key, it's a little easier to get it out. If not, you just got to pry it off. So here's the new switch I got, which you can actually still get at Advanced Auto Parts, which is pretty cool. So this is what locks it in. So when you put the new one in, you just put your key in. Usually turn it to the on or start position somewhere in there, and you'll be able to slide it in, get it lined up, and then when you take the key out, this will pop up when it's all together, and that'll hold it in. So I'm going to put this in and see what happens. Alright, since it's nighttime and it's hard to see, I really do want to get this done, but I want to film it. So when you get the key cylinder, it'll only go in one way, and you basically just push it in until it locks. Alright, so it's the next day, and it's a little lighter out, and I was able to get the key switch in. So I did have to grind around here because the key switch wouldn't go all the way in because somebody hit this with a hammer. Don't hit things with a hammer, kids. If you can't do it, find out the right way to do it. So when it's daylight and you can come out and work on something, so we did have to punch a hole in here. That's where the release is for the key switch. I showed you that on the other one. So now we're in good shape. We can actually start it. Brum, 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 brum. Once it's running, we can put it in gear. Let's not do that now because it might move. And then you could also see here, this is what locks your steering wheel, if you didn't know. And this is what releases it on that plate that looks like this. So when you turn your steering wheel and it locks, that's where that little pipe goes in there. So when you do that, now you can turn your steering wheel, you can release your shifter. So we got some wheels and tires on this sucker, so it's just about time to get it into the garage once I clean all that stuff up. Alright guys, I'm putting this back together, and I just wanted to show you that on the inside of this, there is one of these knurls that is bigger. So make sure that when you're putting this on, you're not trying to shove it on the wrong way. It goes in through the horn, and then it will only go on one way. So make sure you rotate it till it slides on easily, and then we'll go ahead and compress that and put that lock back on. And I got everything else back together. Now the steering wheel does not have a certain way it goes on, so you can put it on any way you want, which is handy after your car is aligned. If you're driving it, you can make it straight when you're driving straight. But that's it for steering. So now we can get the wheels turning, and we can get the transmission unlocked, so we can roll this thing into the garage. Alright, so the time has come. We're going to go ahead and get this up. But first, let's go ahead and take a walk around, and I'll show you a little bit of the underneath. Alright, so starting underneath the front, rad support is there. It's even got a shroud. Frame looks alright. Surface rust, cross member, all the suspension is here. It's got a sway bar, but it looks like it's disconnected on that side over there. It should be up in there, but it's not. I don't know if you could see that. So it looks like everything that's supposed to be up here is up here. And this does have disc brakes, which is pretty cool. I think they all had disc brakes in '72, right? These wheels may or may not be staying on this, so I don't know. Inside the wheelhouse is everything that's supposed to be there. It's split up here. These, if you didn't know, are plastic, so expect that to be shot. Coming back here, frame looks okay. Oh, look at that, some future interesting stuff. Of course, the body we know is going to be shot down here. But the frame is what we want to look at, and it does have a frame, and it does look okay. Inside the rear wheelhouse, looks not too bad. And then the coolest thing is that. Do you see what I see? Yep, that's a 12-bolt rear end. It is a non-posi, but it's a 12-bolt. Got a single exhaust with a cherry bomb here. And the rear frame back here looks okay to me. All the rear suspension, everything looks like it is the way it should be. Got a little mess down here at the quarter drop downs. This one actually does have a trunk floor and a gas tank. I'm sure that gas tank is shot, but this section of the frame looks okay too. Alright, let's get this sucker in the garage. Tried to boost up the front of the trailer. It's still rolling downhill, but any little bit helps. May need some help getting this started, but we'll get it in there. These are the tricks you learn when you work by yourself. It's also handy to have a wireless, hang on. I was going to say it's also handy to have a wireless winch. Watch that front corner. Alright, it's not the best of parking jobs, but we'll go ahead and put it up on the dollies and we'll be able to move it wherever we need to. Then we'll dig into this thing, see what's inside it, see what's under the hood. I know you're all itching to find that out, so that's going to be on the next episode. So please subscribe, like, share, check out my other social medias, check out all the channels in the description below, and until next time, stay positive and keep on wrenching.